don't give anybody my ID unless I've committed a crime.
So we can make it real easy or we can make it real hard. Well, all I'm asking is for your ID that I identify who you are in case.
You get a chance to talk to the people upstairs?
Who? Jesus?
No, the people upstairs. They have to give you like some type of permit to
start going to church?
Recording in there. Do you have your ID?
Excuse me?
Do you mind if it's your ID?
Let me see your ID.
So do you have your driver's license?
I just want to know what crime I'm committing.
Do you have your driver's license?
Give me your name. Oh, bless your heart. God bless you. See, now the bad thing is for you, unfortunately for you, is I know my rights and I know the law, and I know I'm not breaking the law.
So what's your name and badge number?
My name is Sergeant Hines with Warren County Sheriff's Office 415.
Thank you. I'm now recording this interaction because this was a consensual conversation where you walked upon me and decided that because I won't give you my ID, that you're going to say that the result of couponing is now shoplifting. I've asked you to leave. I said I do not want to continue this consensual conversation. You refused. Said I don't get to dictate when you leave. And that's fine.
You didn't actually ask me.
Yes, I did.
But
I asked to end this conversation. I am asking you to leave. I wanted to end this conversation. Okay, well, I've given you the information I have. Unless you can speak to the items out there in the grass, I don't know what else you can do to investigate. I've explained that my girlfriend coupons to you. I've explained that this is the result of that. I don't know what else that you want. She shops all over. No answer I give you is gonna make you think, oh, what I thought when I walked up is not the case, because you predetermined the notion of what you were going to come upon when you saw this yard sale.
Determine anything. That's why we investigate.
But you have no reasonable articulable suspicion that shoplifting occurred ever.
I've already provided that reasonable, articulable.
Which is what?
Multiples and.
So it's illegal to own multiples of items and then sell those items. So the people who are at the flea market who have multiples of items and are selling items should all be put under suspicion for committing shoplifting.
I just came here to have a simple conversation.
And I told you my name's Tony.
Your obstruction of that is.
There's no obstruction. Obstruction is a physical act. I'm not obstructing you. I do not have to help in your investigation. That is not my job. That is your job. You're required to do your investigation. I'm not required to say anything to you under the Fifth Amendment. You have a supervisor coming?
I've already advised you. I am the supervisor.
Okay, I wanted your supervisor. Isn't that your policy to try to contact your supervisor?
No.
Okay. Do you have a card? Can I have one? Yeah, please. So that when I file a complaint with your department, I know exactly who I'm filing it on. This is harassment. I've asked you to leave. I would like for you to leave. You have no reason to be here. I've explained to you how we have come upon these items.
I was asked to be here, so I do have a reason to be here.
Okay, you can investigate somewhere else. No, there's nothing else for you to investigate here.
This is where it's occurring.
Okay, I understand that, but I've asked you to leave. You have no right to be here. I don't want to give you a hard time, but you're coming up here on baseless accusations.
Started with giving me a hard time. That's where we started.
No, I didn't. I just told you I wasn't going to give you my ID because I don't have to. Is that not true? Are we a stop and ID state? And now you're impeding me from being able to sell the items because people aren't going to stop when there's a sheriff standing on the porch.
Why would they not stop?
Because it looks like there is something intimidating or scary going on here. There's a man with a gun on my porch, standing over top of me.
Because I go to stores and people don't leave the store.
No, but people aren't going to be deterred from a store. They're going to think that I'm some type of criminal when there's no criminal act going on here.
Well, I don't believe that.
You have no reasonable, articulable suspicion. Having multiples of an item is not a crime. Selling multiples of an item is not a crime. You have nothing to suggest that any of this was stolen. Do you have me on video walking out of a store with all of these items without paying?
Potentially.
You don't. I can guarantee you 1,000% you don't.
Okay. What about your girlfriend?
I can guarantee 1,000% that she is not on camera stealing anything ever in her life. And the fact that you continue to sit here and act like this is ridiculous. You're trying to be quiet now that I have you on camera, but I want you to understand that I would like for you to leave. You have no reason to be here. I've asked you to end this consensual conversation and you refuse. On no basis. I'm going to FOIA request that. Name and badge number, sir?
Alex Baker, 486.
Thank you. You have a card?
You just watch it.
I've asked you to leave several times. Now you're walking through my yard taking pictures of my items. You can do that from somewhere other than this property. This makes no sense. You walked up on this property. This was a consensual conversation. You're trying to say selling multiples of items is somehow shoplifting. It is not. My girlfriend coupons, I explained that to you. You're continuing to push this because of some ego trip that you have because I wouldn't give you my ID. So are you going to come back and apologize when you find out you're wrong? Are you? Will you come back and apologize if you find out what you're doing right now is completely wrong? I understand that. I asked for his supervisor. I know, I want his supervisor because what he's doing is completely baseless. He has no right to just walk up and assume that all this is shoplifted.
I don't know anything about that.
Did somebody credible call you all and say, hey, I know for a fact all this stuff is shoplifted?
I don't know. I just got here.
Because suspicion that it's shoplifted doesn't give you a right to come up on me and demand my ID and say that there's possibly a crime here. I told him I wouldn't give him my ID because there's no crime committed and we're not a stop and ID state. And so he decides to push the issue further. Am I incorrect about that? Do I have to ID to you if I have not committed a crime? We are not a stop and ID state, are we?
But there's reasonable suspicion.
No, if I'm detained and I give you a false name, it's a crime. If I am lawfully arrested, I have to give you my ID. I do not have to give you my ID just because you ask for it. We're not a stop and ID state. It's not a requirement. I'm going to FOIA request that. I want an incident report number. Can I have your card and can I have your name and badge number?
I'm Officer Williams, badge is 171.
And your name, ma'am?
Officer Brian.
And badge number?
155.
Okay, and do you have cards?
Yep.
Can I have one, please? I'd like to know who I'm complaining on whenever I go to the police department. All right, that's great. Thank you. I don't have an issue with y'all doing your job, but now I think it's going a little too far. There's 4 officers with a man sitting down in a chair.
So she's on return to duty, so we're considered one. I'm training her.
Okay, I understand that, but there are 4 people with weapons standing in front of me, correct? For what?
We're investigating a
Okay,
crime.
okay.
You were requested to assist with an officer that was
Okay,
conducting
but my
an
question
investigation.
is, what reasonable articulable suspicion do you have that these items were stolen?
I don't know. It's not my case. I was requested to assist another agency, so that's what we're here doing.
So nobody can give me any answers on why you reasonably believe these items are stolen.
This is the first time I've met you. I don't know all the details.
I've explained to him that my girlfriend coupons, and that we come by these lawfully.
Okay.
She does this for a living, for the purpose of selling these. We have these sales years and years and years in a row, and not once has anybody ever come up to us and suspected us. We've had cops stop and shop here. We've had no issues. I just don't understand how somehow this is now a crime.
I don't know. I was just asking simple questions. You immediately.
No, but I don't want to give you my ID because there's no crime. There's no crime being committed.
Well, we call that a clue.
You call it what you want. It's me exercising my rights. I don't have to ID. We're not a stop and ID state.
I'm just asking simple questions, but you refuse to answer the question.
I told you that she coupons. That wasn't sufficient for you because you believe that the stuff is stolen. So there's no way for me to convince you that it's not.
Not the way you've been speaking to me. No.
Well,
If she coupons, she should have. Most couponers keep pretty good records. I mean, does she have receipts for all
I'm
this?
sure she has tons of receipts, either in her purse or in the house.
I say because you said there's no way to prove it.
She does Ibotta. She does Ibotta. She does the other little thing that gives you stuff for your receipts. Yes.
So it would be a very simple request for me to walk up and ask to see the receipts. Would you be willing to do that?
You could ask that.
Would you be willing?
But unless you can prove that there was a crime committed, there would be no reason for me to have to. Now, she may voluntarily do it when she gets back.
She's on her way though.
I don't know where she's at. But I don't have to give you my ID just because you asked for it. That's not how the law works. If maybe you had asked, what was going on, and then when I told you, you stopped and waited in your car, and you come back over here and you waited to speak to her when she arrived, then maybe this wouldn't have escalated to where it's at. But she's not.
How would I know that from across the street?
When the car pulls in the driveway, you would see.
Well, how would I know who's selling it? I don't know. That's why we investigate.
You don't know, and you don't know that there's a crime. I really would like for you all to leave.
That's where investigation is. I've not accused you of anything. I'm just
Yes, you have. You said the items are potentially stolen with no basis. None
They could
whatsoever.
be. I don't know. That's why we.
Do you have a video of anybody stealing from any store with any of these items that looks like me?
I don't know yet.
This is unreasonable.
I think it's completely reasonable. Based on
I'm
what we're
unreasonable.
saying here.
So I'm just going to assume I'm detained. Am I detained?
You are.
I'm detained for what reason?
For investigation.
No. Reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime.
Suspicion of
What?
shoplifting.
Okay, and what evidence do you have to suspect me of
Your
shoplifting?
yard.
My yard. I have stuff in my yard for a yard sale, guys. You know yard sales are illegal now? That is absolutely insane. It's things like this that make bad relations between people
I
and
was very
police
cordial when I
officers.
walked up here.
You were not.
You're being cordial.
You just immediately accused us of stealing.
I did not.
You did.
I didn't.
You
I
did.
asked you simple questions.
I gave you answers. You weren't happy with those
You
answers.
answer all my questions.
Told you where the stuff come from.
No,
Told you my
never
first
told me
name.
where anything came
It came from stores where they were purchased with coupons. It is an answer. There's multiple stores throughout this city. There's multiple locations people can purchase items. These were purchased from all kinds of different stores.
Like where?
Like anywhere from Kroger to Walmart to Dollar General to Family Dollar to CVS to Walgreens. Anywhere that offers coupons that you can get digitally and that you can use manufacturer coupons on. It's how couponing works. You find things on sale, you use the coupons, you get them for even cheaper. I mean, you're getting them for a price where it's almost a steal, but it's not stealing. I don't understand why you're still here trying to perpetuate the idea that this is somehow theft.
With your girlfriend, so now
No, I said that you could have. Now I've asked you to leave. I mean, this is unlawful detention.
You told me this is not your home.
This is an unlawful detention.
You told me this is not your home.
This is an unlawful detention.
Did you tell me?
This is an unlawful detention. I have 4 people with guns detaining me for no reason. I don't appreciate it.
Most people don't.
Yeah, especially when there's no right and no reason. You just ask everybody for receipts. You just walk up on everybody and ask them for receipts to their items. When they walk out of a store, you say, hey, do you have a receipt for that, or did you just steal that? It's ridiculous. I know y'all have better things to do than to harass somebody who has done nothing illegal. And you have no reason to believe they've done anything illegal. You're violating my rights by unlawfully detaining me. If you continue to violate my rights without reasonable articulate suspicion of a crime, you will be subject to any litigation that comes afterwards.
So your girlfriend, she coupons?
Yes.
Is she here?
I've already explained to the sheriff she is not here. She went to the bank to get change. Can I have your card, please?
It's in my car.
Will you please go get it? I would like to know who it is that's here in the yard.
I'm Officer Brian.
I understand you said it to the video camera. I understand I have it recorded. I understand that, but in case something happens to the video, I'd like to have a physical copy as well. Go by Tony. My name is Antonio. I've given you my name. I've told you where the items have come from. This is so ridiculous. What would be a sufficient answer that would have gotten you all to decide to walk away from speaking and asking questions? I mean, if there's no reasonable answer I could give that would make you all think different, then what was the point of even acting like you're being cordial? You guys have already run off several potential people that were going to stop. You're impeding on my ability to sell any of these items. This is completely unlawful. You can't provide one shred of evidence that there's anything to even suspect us of.
It's called reasonable suspicion.
But it's not. You can't articulate how it's a crime to have multiple things in your yard.
I didn't say that.
Okay, it's not a crime then, so you don't have reasonable suspicion. You don't have a video. You don't have a video. You don't have any evidence, anybody saying my name, that I shoplifted, nothing matching my description coming out of a store. Okay, I told you that my name is Tony. I go by Tony. My name's Antonio.
A lot of Tonys in this world.
My name is Antonio. That's as far as I want to give you. I don't have to ID myself to you. I've not committed a crime. I know I've not committed a crime.
That's what everybody that commits a crime says. So that doesn't really help my investigation.
Okay. You just remember what you're saying and how you're acting. I'll smile for you. Is that what you want?
Been nothing but cordial.
I'll give you a thumbs up and smile for you. I've not committed a crime. I don't have any issue with you all taking pictures of me. I'm glad that you all don't have any issue with me recording you all, because it is my First Amendment right to do so.
I never said a word about it.
I know, and I appreciate that. Thank you for not getting upset about that. Some people do. It's unreasonable.
When it first started, it was different, so people got upset about it.
Well, you know, now people have been more educated and people understand the law more. So how long are you legally allowed to keep me detained? Because it's not infinite.
You're right. But it's long enough to conduct the investigation.
Okay, well, you're not investigating anything. You've taken your pictures, you've investigated. How have you come to a conclusion by taking the pictures you took?
You told me the best person to talk to would be your girlfriend.
Correct. And I also said that you could go back across the street to your vehicle and we could end this unlawful detainment, and you can end this consensual conversation, which is what it was from the start, and you could wait for her. Now she's pulling up and you can speak to her, and then after you speak to her and she gives you the same answer that I gave you,
Sure.
is that going to satisfy you?
Maybe. We'll see what she says. I don't like to make a snap decision.
I'm not going to let y'all violate my rights. I'm not going to let y'all make me feel like I've done something because I want to protect my right not to identify myself to you all. This is ridiculous. It's tyranny. This is an unlawful detainment. Because I wouldn't give him my girlfriend's name. Because I wouldn't ID myself to that man. I've been detained for, looks like 21 minutes now from the amount of time that has elapsed on my camera. 22 minutes. And I didn't videotape the first part of the interaction. It's not reasonable to harass people. I believe that you don't actually like to harass people. That's not your goal. But at the same time, what you're doing is harassment. I don't have to help you all in your investigation whatsoever. Look, you see that? Sir, please look at what she's showing that officer. That is a stack of coupons that she literally has in the front part of her car. Because she's a couponer. We literally help people in this neighborhood. She uses the couponing to give away free things so that the neighborhood is not without. Everything is on a cheaper price than what you can get it from the store so that she can help the neighborhood. It's literally the most innocent thing in the world, and y'all are trying to turn it into a crime. I can't believe that. And can I get a copy of the original report where the person called in? Okay, I will. That's fine. How do I do that? The sheriff's. I can do it directly through the sheriff's office. So if I went over there to Sugar Maple, if I went to Sugar Maple Square.
Well, at the courthouse, because that's where records is.
Oh, okay. So that's where they handle the FOIA request for that.
The old courthouse where you go to.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, sir.
Taxes and all
Yes, sir.
that. Just talk to records.
Did Bowling Green Police leave? I did say that you coupon. I just wouldn't give him my ID, and that's why he tripped out. I don't have to ID. Because we stole these things. He was saying we stole these things, so I needed to ID myself. Okay, but I don't know. But either way, I know that there's no crime committed, so I don't have to ID. It's not a stop and ID state. It's not tyrannical. It's not easier for my rights to be violated. That's not how I feel. I knew you were going to feel different, and that's understandable. You can think how you think. Nothing that I did is illegal. I mean, people at stores literally know her when she walks in that she's the coupon lady. She literally just said that one thing that's made more sense than anything that's been said in this front yard. She'd have to be an idiot to boost everything and then sit it in her front yard. That's so dumb.
It's easier to tell them what the hell they want to know, Tony, than make a big stink about it.
No, I mean, I'm not going to have my rights violated.
Well, there is no reason to get
Hold
your
on,
ID.
am I being undetained? Am I unlawfully undetained?
Just stop. Just be quiet. Xavier, come get your donuts. He's probably scared to death in there with all these police out here.
Oh, there was two more. They had two BGPD officers show
I wish
up.
I knew who reported me because she's not getting no more deals in this cell. I bet it was that lady that was just here.
I don't know, but I told them that you coupon, that literally this is your life's work, that this is what you do, but the answer wasn't sufficient.
Like I told him, I have to sell this shit so I can afford to give away. I give away school supplies at the start of the year. I collect hats, warm underlayers, blankets, and tents for the homeless. I put out a free table and I share all the food that's about to expire or barely expired with the neighborhood. Everybody knows that.
It's literally the most innocent
but in order
thing.
for me to put that many hours, and it's like 5 days a week out of 7 after work, I'll be out here, getting these deals every single day. Otherwise, I can't afford to get all the free stuff. It's really all about a labor of love. But time is money, and I spend a lot of time getting this stuff. I just restarted my winter stockpile because I gave it all away. Hundreds of hats, warm socks. I go down to the Wellness Connection. We have the feeding the homeless group where I give stuff away, and I just keep shit in the back of my car. I'm out of tents now, but when I have tents and I find out there's a newly homeless person, I'll say, go find you a spot deep in the woods, because it's illegal for a man to rest on the ground now. It's a war against poor people in this country, and it's not your fault. It's the statutes that the city has made. There's no shelters. The Salvation Army is always full, and there's no place for them to stay.
But just let you know, camping in the tent is also
Well, they got to sleep somewhere, and the city's not accommodating them. They need to make a legal, monitored camping site with utility access. I was standing here last night thinking how terrible it must be to be a brand new homeless person on the street for the first time and have nowhere to go and hear those tornado sirens and those voices saying this is not a drill, take cover immediately. Where are they supposed to go? There's no shelter anywhere near the west side or downtown. We need a shelter for the hood, a homeless shelter and a tornado shelter. There's nowhere for us to go. You know, and somebody's got to do for these people, and you have people like me out here busting our ass every single day so I can get these deals, so I can have sales, so I can help feed people. I can help sick people that have a fever, give them Tylenol. So I can help these kids. They're lined up all the way down the road to get a backpack, notebooks, crayons. You know, that stuff isn't free, but I wait till it's 90% off. I wait till crayons and color pencils are 10 cents. I wait till 5 stars are 25 cents. And I go into Walmart and spend $50. How do I get that $50? From selling this stuff. I give away way more than I sell. It makes me so mad that somebody would report me and say that they think I stole this. How in the hell am I going to steal all this? That's crazy. The way that cameras are in every store. Come on. Like I was telling him, some of the cool managers that have come over to the right side instead of the dark side hate throwing stuff like corporate tells them to in the dumpster. And they'll be like, I got in 2 racks of flip-flops that are expired. How do flip-flops expire? I don't know. To destroy, you know. And I'll run in my nightgown at night, go around back and get them. If it's given to me free, I give it away. If I buy it, it's free game to sell. And that's how I, you know, do it. So, and that's not against the law. Like I was telling him, it's not a permanent yard sale. This is the second sale I've had this year. I got to put this stuff up tonight. I'm going to drag it back out here tomorrow and have a 2-day sale. It's a lot of work to pull all this stuff. My whole 3rd bedroom is full of stuff. It's stockpile, you know. Absolutely ridiculous. Not all these police here, so customers don't want to stop. Like,
that's exactly what I said. They've done run off of a few people. They didn't physically tell them they had to go, but people slowing down, looking and trying to see if they want to stop and shop, and then notice that there's 2 sheriffs and 2 Bowling Green Police Department officers in our front yard. They don't want to stop.
My first thought was somebody came here and busted you over the head and stole the little money that we made this morning. That's the only thing I could think of why the police would be here. That's crazy.
Said because we had multiples of items in the yard for sale. That was the reason why.
Do y'all go to the flea market and crash?
That's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said.
Those people at the flea market with those brown Dollar General clearance blankets are awfully sus. They probably stole those 30 blankets, you know, even though it is a clearance event and they're already 90% off, now they're 50% off that. So a $10 blanket is 50 cents right now. So I'm sure the flea market today is full of them. You might want to check that stuff there. That's crazy. I was like, oh, some crackhead that's not from this neighborhood that doesn't know me, I'll come over here and rob Tony. That was my thought. Little dude trying to figure out what's going on here. He's going back and forth. My little buddy.
He's mine. Thank you.
It's all right. Nothing going on. You gotta keep going back and forth, back and forth.
Well, my mouth's gonna be dry as shit.
I'm surprised Michael hasn't been up here yet.
Yeah, he's always up here anytime he sees the gun.
Is everybody okay? Is anything going on? I'll be out.
I mean, I told him I think it's crazy to me that out of all the years that we've been set up out here, many cops
6 years
have drove by, have stopped.
Cops shop here.
Yeah, it's literally what I said. And we've been doing this for years. A couple of times a year during the warm months. It's insane.
You go to almost any store in this neighborhood, they'll be like, oh, the coupon queen? They call me the neighborhood watch. People report crimes to me over here. My daughter's on drugs. She needs to go to rehab. My husband's beat me. Somebody stole my dog. I watch out for this neighborhood. And for some lady, it has to be that lady that was here that I've never seen.
She was mad we didn't have change.
because somebody broke all of her change, and I had to go get change. She had to counter change and put something back. Oh, they don't have change. They're not prepared. They must be shoplifters. I'm gonna try to log her in my book, and if she shows up here again, I'm asking her.
I mean, they've been here for almost 40 minutes, babe. I've been unlawfully detained for at least 34 minutes of it.
It was that lady.
It was. I mean, it wasn't too long after you left that they showed up. This guy's not so bad though. The other guy came with an attitude immediately. This guy's just trying to do his job and make sure somebody's standing here with me the whole time.
All the people coming by are probably coming to shop, and they're just not stopping because they don't want to.
They won't, yeah. I never got the card for that young female officer.
She's still over there.
She is. Are y'all both generating reports? Is that how that's going to work?
I'm not doing any report.
Well, you came and spoke to somebody. I mean, there's a reason for a report.
We only do a report.
I mean, you detained me. Yeah, that's a detention. That's an unlawful detention. There needs to be a report of it. Things can't change unless things are written down and reported on. And this type of thing right here, that was a consensual conversation that turned into 4 officers in the yard illegally detaining me for nothing, that has to change. That's not correct. All because I wouldn't give them my ID. I don't have to, right?
I mean, they always do that, Tony.
I understand that.
Anytime I call the police when somebody's out here overdosing or dying, or anytime I've given anybody Narcan or anything, they always want my ID. Just like when you're a kid, they give you a contact card. Should they know what they do? It's to document contact with you.
Right, but he's saying that's not even going to happen. I'm going to write nothing up to say they made contact.
Not a criminal report. That's what we do, right? Criminal.
An incident report. This was an incident, right? You stopped and detained somebody for a suspected crime.
It will be documented.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
Not besides, I would like to know that lady's name that reported me, so she can be banned from my cell.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just it's that tough stuff because we don't want that kind of drama or people angry with each other or anything like that.
Well, it's false reporting. That's a...
Well, it's a suspicion. I think it's fair.
I mean, after 6 years of being here, I mean, police stop and shop here that control this neighborhood. Ice cream truck stops and shops here. You know, I mean, it's like everybody stops to shop here. For 6 years, every summer I have
Thank you.
sale. Nobody has ever said anything to me. It just makes me mad that somebody would call and report, and that you'd have to have this many people out here and schedule. Like for the last hour, this yard would have been full of customers. Now all these customers have missed this yard because some lady wants
To be fair, I was just trying to ask some simple questions, but I couldn't get a simple answer. So it just made it more complicated. It extended the time that we were here because we couldn't get a clear answer.
I told you where the stuff came from. You weren't happy with me telling you that it was from couponing, though. It's the same answer she gave you, except for now you saw the coupons in her window.
Right. Yeah, a little bit of evidence goes a long way.
I mean, you immediately walked on me. I can't go anywhere. I was detained from the moment you walked up.
Because I don't know who you are.
Right, so I can't give you any evidence. I can't show you anything. I can't do anything to help further.
Could have,
I couldn't.
but you refused to. And when you refuse to identify, the courts have held that is legal to...
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, that's all we got. I appreciate you.
Is there an incident number?